Kindness. On Sunday, I'm doing a webinar and it's called Kindness. And how do we get there? If you look around the world, how much kindness is playing out on this collective level at the moment. And for me, what's showing up is all the shadow aspects from our systems, our own system, and our epigenetic from the ancestral system of programming, of wounds, of taking sides, picking sides, blaming, and victimhood consciousness as well, and abuse. For me, everything's frequency. So if I've been abused, it means I also can be the perpetrator as well, because the frequency is within me. And when I say abuse, it can be very, very subtle. So what we're seeing in the world where there's limited maybe kindness playing out, of course, there's collective kindness as well. For me, it's really important to look into our own systems and to see where is this separation and where is this blame, which is playing out within our systems, within our lives, and within this collective field at the moment. So for me, it's an opportunity. The frequencies which are coming into this planet at the moment are very strong, and they're bringing up all the shadow aspects within the epigenetics, within your blood, within your DNA. And it's time to clear them. It's time to not do what you once did before, to not do with complete honor and respect to the ancestors, not have to go through what they went through in war, for example. And when you look at the system, we're being played at the moment, and even the ones who are playing us also are being played at the moment. Everything is separation. Everything, when there's evil in this world, evil is created from a collection of wounds which have been built on through the epigenetics, through the ancestors. So it's something that's been in the family generation after generation of fragmented children through abuse, sexual abuse, for example, violence, emotional abuse. And then they're out of their system. And you often hear the fallen angels. The fallen angels, they were once angels. But when they fall, it's when there's a collective wound within their system from the epigenetics and then from their own childhood and life. So we're all playing out these different wounds in some way or the other. And we can be super spiritual and we still have these wounds within our systems. And no matter how conscious we are, we still will have underlying wounds playing out within us. And for me, it's very important to take self-responsibility and to bring them up like a magnifying glass within my system. So it's not about me telling you to be more kind to your neighbor and to yourself. It's about finding the root cause, because in our essence, we are kind. In nature, nature's kind. We are naturally kind on a soul level. It's the wounds and the programming and the conditioning which deflected us or separated us from that ability to be kind to each other and compassionate to each other. So in this webinar, I'm going to really go deep to the core essence of you. Well, first myself, because I use it as the law of reflection, quantum entanglement of everything I work on in my own system. It gives your system a possibility of looking deeper and resolving it in your own system. I'm not sending you energy. I'm simply working within my own system, and then you have the possibility to transform that yourself. And it's like when I find a blueprint, I mirror that blueprint to you so you can see what's in your system and your soul can decide to transform it yourself. It's time we bring more kindness into our lives, into the world around us, and to ourselves. And this is what this webinar is about. It's one single webinar, very potent webinar, and it's going to be going very, very deep. And it's really, I did the war webinar during the week with Jason Churka. I did the full moon webinar. And now let's bring up kindness, because it will not happen unless we create that ourselves and we clear what's in our own systems first. And then it creates a ripple effect in the collective field. So thank you, first of all, for your time listening, and also for all the webinars you've been involved in and the support over the years. And I invite you to be part of this one as we're connecting and taking self-responsibility to look into our own systems. You know, often we say, you know, you hear people, in complete honor of your parents. You often hear people saying, I don't want to become like my parents or like my dad or my mom. And then years later, they realize they've turned into them. That is a perfect example of someone who has not worked on their epigenetics. And we all have experienced war. We've all experienced disaster. We've all experienced abuse, meaning our ancestors. And this is within our DNA. And if we do not clear what's in our DNA, we're going to create it in our lives and the world around us. And that is what's playing out on the collective level at the moment. It's an opportunity to change it, because when a system's open, it's the opportunity to transform it. And there's heavy stuff open at the moment. So that means that we can transform it. So let's do that together. Have a beautiful day, and maybe I'll see you at the webinar. Thank you.